Hello and welcome to my review of the Space Marine Primaris Eliminator squad. Currently the only way to get these three Primaris Eliminators is through the Shadowspear box set, which will cost you £105. I'm hoping they do release these separately. They probably will, but maybe only in a squad of 3, because that's what they've got in the mini codex. What I'll do is I'll go through the models, look at their detail and things, and show you some size comparisons with other Primaris models and a couple of the Chaos models from the set, and then we'll go through all of the rules which are in the Codex Vanguard Space Marines book. So first things first, they were super easy to build. 2 of the models are exactly the same. I was much more impressed in all the Chaos models in this set more than the Primaris, which is quite bizarre for me because I really like Space Marines and I really like Primaris. But all of these Phobos pattern I'm not a huge fan of. I like the Captain, maybe the Librarian, but all the other models just seemed quite bland and boring. Maybe that's because I'm comparing them to the Chaos models and how individual the Chaos models looked. But these 2 Eliminators are like for like, complete twins. All I've done is I've cut the bottom of the plug off of one of the Eliminators and made sure that he'd sort of tilting his head the opposite way, just to give a little bit more of a change in how they look. But they've both got their weapons aimed exactly the same, same power plant, same poses. Their spare parts are just these heads. I didn't want to have the guy with the mask and the goggles on and the like little Mohican thing. This is, sorry, I'll just zoom in. There we go, that's way better, isn't it? Right. So I didn't want to have them looking like that at all. I wanted them with the goggles underneath. They probably don't have a helmet underneath. That's the silly point, but still, I wanted them to look. I wanted to have the hoods over whatever they've got underneath, so I didn't have them with their kind of bare heads, if that makes sense. The Eliminator Sergeant, I suppose he looks quite cool. He's got these binoculars and the bolt sniper rifle, which is just a variation of the bolt rifle. Lots of magazines, I think, in those pouches, and more pouches there, and cloak as well. So he looks quite cool. But there you go, that's the 3. As I say, they were very easy to put together. It won't take you much more than half an hour or so. Let me just show you some size comparisons. Well, compared to the other models in the set, so you've got the Captain here in Phobos armor. If I just show you the Sergeant compared to the Captain. Captain is taller, but that is only because he's stepping on that bit of scenery. If they were toe to toe, they'd be pretty much the same height. So at least there's that. Clearly he's taller than the ones that are kneeling. Not much needs to be said about that. And then compared to some Imperial models, so we've got normal standard Space Marine, and this is where it looks a bit funny, because you've got a standard Space Marine which is a tiny bit taller than the Eliminator kneeling. So that's where the sizes do look quite strange when you've got one kneeling and one properly stood up. Next to an Intercessor though, if we just show you there, the Intercessor is, yeah, sort of the same height. Next to one kneeling. Now the one kneeling looks like he'd be a lot taller if he stood up. So I don't know whether they've got the proportions right for those that are kneeling, but still, hope that size comparison helped. Compared to the couple of the Chaos models in the set, I've just got a standard Chaos Space Marine, which again, look, they are similar height. It's only a little bit taller than normal Chaos Space Marine, but yet it looks like knee-wise, not much taller. It's strange, these proportions, but there you go. Then that's next to the Chaos Space Marine and next to an Obliterator. Obliterators don't actually look that much bigger compared to these Primaris Eliminators. But there you go. Hopefully those size comparisons helped, or maybe they confused you, who knows. So what I'll do now is I'll just go through all of the rules for them, which you'll find in the mini codex, the Codex Vanguard Space Marines, which is in the Shadowspear box set. So the Eliminator squad, what are you thinking? Troop choice? Elite choice? Nope. they're heavy support and they're a power points cost of a 3 and a points cost of 18 per model. The bolt sniper rifle will cost you 3 points, and honestly I don't know why they don't just include that with it, but either way, that'll be 21 points per model, so 63 points for the squad. Then you've got to add their camo cloaks too, so it's 24 points per model. Anyway, their heavy support choice, and their stat line reads: movement speed is 6 inches, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness is 4, wounds 2, attacks 2, leadership 7, and a save of 3+. So exactly the same stat line as the infiltrator squad. The sergeant has the same stat line, but of course he's got 1 extra attack, attacks 3, and a better leadership, leadership 8. Bolt pistol, same as usual, it's 12-inch range, pistol 1 weapon, strength 4, AP 0, and a damage of 1. And the frag and crack grenades, the frag grenade is a 6-inch grenade D6, strength 3, AP 0 and damage 1, and the crack grenade is a 6-inch grenade 1, strength 6, AP -1 and a damage D3. Now the bolt sniper rifle, this is where it's at. So the unit contains 1 eliminator sergeant and 2 eliminators. Each model is equipped with a camo cloak and armed with a bolt sniper rifle, bolt pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades. So the bolt sniper rifle, this is where it's at. For some reason, Games Workshop have decided to equip these guys with 3 different rounds. The weapon can target a character even if it is not the closest enemy unit, and in addition, when attacking with this weapon, choose one of the profiles below. So you've got the 3 different rounds. You've got Executioner round, Mortis round and Hyperfrag round. They're all range of 36 inches. The Executioner round is a heavy 1, strength 4, AP -2 and damage D3. Additionally, if you make a wound roll of 6+ for this weapon, it inflicts 1 mortal wound in addition to its normal damage. That's pretty good. That's the one you want to go for against characters because it's the AP of -2 and it's a damage of D3 and you might get those mortal wounds. Mortis round. Heavy 1, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1. Nothing incredible about that, but the ability for that one is this weapon can target units that are not visible to the firer. That's insane. So straight through buildings. Add 2 to hit rolls made for this weapon. Again, that's insane because the ballistic skill is 3+. Units do not receive the benefit of cover to their saving throws against attacks made with this weapon. That's great too. With the AP -1, there's a chance that units want to be taking their cover saves, but this denies them that. And finally, the Hyperfrag round. This time it's a heavy D3, so you can have up to 3 shots with this one. Strength 4, AP 0 and damage 1. So the only excellent point about that one is you could have 3 shots with it. So potentially you could have 9 shots ringing off with this squad of 3. Abilities, and they shall know no fear, and camo cloaks. Add 2 to saving throws for models in this unit when they receive the benefit of cover instead of 1. That's great because their save is 3+ normal. And then concealed positions. When you set up this unit during deployment, it can be set up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches from the enemy deployment zone and any enemy models. I don't know why you'd want to have them very close to the enemy at all. They don't have any combat blades. They have a few attacks in close combat, and they have a decent weapon skill, but you want to be placing them within 36 inches or so of characters if your opponent has had to put their characters out. But I would have thought that the clever opponent would have them either high up in orbit in a teleportarium chamber or in a land raider or hidden. But even if they're hidden, clearly you can just use those Mortis rounds. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Chapter, Infantry, Phobos, Primaris and Eliminator Squad. So there you go, that's my review of the Eliminators. I'm not sure whether they are needed. It's cool that we've kind of had sort of Space Marine Scout equivalents with the Primaris Reavers, and now we've got kind of Space Marine Scout equivalents with the Eliminators. I'm not sure I like the small unit size of only 3, but then again, and that's probably because I'm so used to having intercessors being 5, maybe because I'm not that used to having suppressors or inceptors as 3 either. I think 3 is a little bit vulnerable, but it's nice that you get kind of like a little close-knit sniper execution force for your Primaris Space Marine army. Anyway, what do you guys think of the models and the rules for them? Is there a place for them? Are they really needed? Put all your comments and things down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.